When being a single person and God asks you to accomplish something unbelievable, could you do it? We're here tonight at Brendan Theaters watching Exodus, Gods and Kings. Going into this movie, I had to go in with an open mind because Hollywood is notorious for taking liberties with things and changing things around. So it's kind of like, what did they get right? What did they do wrong? I really enjoyed the look and the feel of the movie was awesome. The characters looked how they should look. The plagues were outstanding. The problem was they kind of tweaked some stuff where they kind of made Moses more, again, like Noah, an action hero. He wasn't really an action hero. He was just the guy that walks in and is like, Pharaoh, buddy, bro, raised together. You gotta let people go, man. You gotta do it. God's saying doing it. They kind of wanted to make it like, oh, we gotta make a movie. But you have enough context there to make a movie without changing stuff. But they did. It's Hollywood, what can you do? The plagues were an enjoyment because you read it Sunday school and you get like little cartoons, little pictures, and you're kind of like, oh, okay. And then you see it, you're like, that's pretty insane and intense. I mean, even like just the frogs alone, you're kind of like, ah. The movie shows you 9, leaves 1 out. It's not that big a deal. I'm not gonna tell you which one. The last one, though, if you know your stuff, intense, and a different take on it. I enjoyed it, edge of my seat the whole time. Visuals, you could not tell what was like there, what wasn't there, what's real, what's not real, blended very well. The acting wasn't amazing, but it was good. You bought into it, you believed it. You have Sigourney Weaver, Ben Kingsley, very big actors, very minimal usage of them. Same with Aaron Paul. I feel he's kind of, especially the character he was playing, Joshua, should have been utilized a lot more than what it was, but I don't want to make it sound like I'm bashing the movie. I did like the movie. It was a lot better than Noah. Go see it. Leave your small children at home. Okay, I can't stress that enough. It's very frustrating when you're trying to watch something befold, in front of you and someone's on their phone. I'm going to give this movie a solid 8 out of 10. Some of the liberties I didn't care for. Other than that, great movie. I really enjoyed it. I'm probably going to own this movie. See what the other guests had to say. Let's go on ahead and bring that this way. My man, I know you and I are Prince of Egypt fans, so we can't compare it. Exodus, Gods and Kings. Talk about that.
I feel it's okay. I was not as impressed as it seems like other people were impressed with it. The special effects were groundbreaking. I don't know if I've ever seen anything quite that amazing when it comes to, especially the plagues and the way they did that. I have no idea how they did some of that stuff. It was mind-boggling to watch that. It really was. And the parts that you're supposed to feel uncomfortable and the parts that you're supposed to feel sad, you do. The problem is the liberties they took with the story. Obviously, being a comic book fan, I'm used to them taking liberties with stories, but I think they took liberties with this story that changed the message of the story. I think that they actually modified what it's trying to portray, at least what I was taught it was trying to portray, and what I felt when I read it was trying to portray. I think that whole value has been lost in this movie, and that's sad. I feel that's a loss. I don't know if they were trying to modernize it, if they were trying to add scientific explanations, or what the thought process was and why Ridley Scott did it the way he did it, but there were some pretty strange choices. Plus, pretty much everybody's wife in the movie can act. I don't know why, but good acting performances except for anybody that's the wife in the movie. They're just really bad.
Well, they had like, what, 2 lines?
Yeah, they only. It was enough for me that stuck out to me as like, oh god, ow. The movie's not bad by any means. It's entertaining. There were a lot of things that really bothered me. I found myself breaking immersion to go, wait, what?
I enjoyed this movie. Not very familiar besides the Prince of Egypt version of the story of Moses. I've only heard bits and pieces of it. The acting was on par. You had Joel Edgerton, you had John Turturro, you had Christian Bale, Aaron Paul, you had all these amazing actors who did such a good job. Joel Edgerton, oh my gosh, you have come such a far way from Tom Buchanan in The Great Gatsby. Like, no joke. The visuals of this movie were visually stunning. It was just a beautiful movie to watch. Looking back, when you're younger, you think The Mummy had beautiful visuals of ancient Egypt. This topped it so much that it was just, I was in awe of the shots.
The only thing I didn't quite like too much was how they personified God. They did a little bit of the burning bush, but I just didn't really understand why they went the route the way they did. I think it's better than just hearing a big, awesome, bass-toned voice. Visual effects were the only thing that looked even close remotely fake was the water. But I don't blame them for that. It's still tough to top water. But everything else, the compositions of the visual establishing shots of Egypt, the landscaping, it was really hard to tell. I mean, you knew kind of what was real, what wasn't real. This movie, if it gets nominated for Best Visual Effects, that will not surprise me. And the music, I wish I could remember who scored the music for this. I can't remember, but
You can Google it.
I can Google it. I'm guessing it was Hans Zimmer, because Ridley Scott and Hans Zimmer do a lot of work together. The acting, I think the guy who played Ramesses should, if he got an Oscar nod for supporting actor, I wouldn't be surprised. The costume design was pretty cool. Lighting, cinematography, very, very good.
And then on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give this an 8 out of 10. Reason for not 9, just the interpretation of God. I don't know. It's an interpretation. It's Hollywood. What do you expect, right?
I would give this a 9 out of 10. It's definitely something you want to go and see on the big screen. It's not something that you want to watch in your living room because of how gorgeous the cinematography is and everything, how it's done.
I give it a 7. It's an entertaining movie and it's well made, but as an overall entertainment factor, I had immersion broken way too many times for me to get anything higher. When I see a movie, I like to just lose myself in the movie, whether it's a comedy or a drama or whatever it might be. I just want to be in the movie world for that hour and a half to 2.5 hours. And then when it's over, I go, oh, it's over? Okay, I'll go back to reality. With this one, I was in reality majority of the time.
If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Like this video, favorite it, share it, like us on Facebook. Next week, the defining chapter, Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies. You want to be there. Pick a side and let's get the show on the road. And as always, we're letting you know before you go at Brendan Theaters. There were some big name characters like Sigourney Weaver. Yeah. She was like in the beginning. And she's like, you have a reason to kill Moses. Don't exile him, I want him dead. I'm Sigourney Weaver. Technology, our Achilles heel.
And I wipe my nose because it's itching right now. So I'm going to repeat what I just said. Michael, delete that last part. That made me more emotional, by the way. I can act better with retards.
Okay.
The only thing I didn't quite like too much was the personification. Sideways. And call me a popsicle stick. Water is so dynamic. Why do you keep staring at me?
I'm listening to you talk about the water.
Why don't you look at the camera and then me?
I go back and forth.
Like, nod at the camera, like, yep. Good accent. You gotta be
No.
on fucking TV with that accent.
I should. Give me a razzing. You see what the other...
If I do what she does, will that help?
No. This makes me want to punch both of you. To see what the other guests had to say, let's go see what they... Go see? Mother, jeez.